So I've already done a few uh, smaller clips on Instagram about this. So this is a company. It's called DJW Push. They make these new push plates, and I've been talking to them on Instagram for a while. They sent me out a couple pieces to try out and do some tests and reviews on, and give them my opinion. Um, so as you can see, they come packaged. This one I've already taken out of the package, but it's pretty simple. It's got a single gang, a double gang, there's a triple, and so on. And each package has its little, let me turn this around, has its own little instructions on it. It's very straightforward. You put it on an angle, you push these little barbs right here. As you can see, they're supposed to go in this hole right here. This one here, you can see is the backsplash will not allow it. I don't want to cut this right here because this is the only one I got. I'll do that later. But this is the one that was up there originally, and you can see that the whoever put that up has cut the screw a lot shorter than it was originally, so that it can again fit in this hole and not bottom out on the back of that brick right there. So, but you know, essentially you put, I don't know if you can see that, you just kind of line that up, and then you would push it, click. It takes a couple seconds to do that as compared to putting a screwdriver up there, twisting it, and so on and so forth. All right. The other drawback is a lot of times that these get deformed because the guy, whoever puts it up there, over torques this little screw, and it deforms it. I don't know if you can see how this one is right there. See how it's all twisted. It's in too tight because, you know, it's just somebody's trying to He-Man that up there. This screw just barely is supposed to have a little bit of, you know, resistance to hold it up on the wall. That's all it's supposed to do. All right. But you can see right here, this is the package, or this is the paperwork that comes in a package. Again, I would have a serious discussion about this being out there, because if you just look at it, it looks like pus, not push. That is not an H, it's supposed to be, but it's this little switch right there. But that does say down here, push plates, you know, less screwing, more doing. And then this is also some literature that comes with it. A standard plate, as you can see, has the two screws. Sometimes you can lose those screws, but a lot of times in the modern version of these, that screw's not falling out, and some of the other ones have a little retaining clip on the back so that you just put it up, clip. Now they do make some, obviously, that these little screws are hanging out inside the little plastic, so when you shake them and when you try to open them up, because this plastic right here, I like this because when you go to open this, it's a lot easier to open than the plastic that's in that other, the box that you get the Home Depot and what have you. So anyway, back to this literature. It shows you there, this right here shows you no screwing, easy install, 3 seconds to install. I guess if you do it a couple times, you can get it down to that. Initially, it might take you 5 or 6, but what's 2 seconds over time, right? Mid-size. Now, speaking of size, the comparison on the side by side, as you can see, the push plate is a little bit larger. Does that matter? Does it help? I think it could become an advantage, especially over some older holes where you got the sheetrock is been, it's wider here. Sometimes you can hide a lot more imperfections that way as well, and put it up like that. And so the benefits, again, the labor savings, the cleaner look. I definitely agree with them on the look. Painters don't have to worry about taking the screws out and pulling them off. The only thing is, if you're not familiar with this and somebody comes up and just yanks it off the wall or pries it, I think that this might break off, and then you're done with it. It does flex a little bit, as you can see. Let me see if I can get it steady. But it does flex before it doesn't break. I was pushing on this one here earlier, and it moves a little bit with, there's a little bit of give in it. Wish I could do this. I didn't have to hold the camera, but you can see that it does move quite a bit up and down, but the back and forth, I guess you could say, the lateral this way, it doesn't. It's a lot more resistance. I don't want to push on it too much to break it before I can do some other tests tomorrow at the rehab that I'm working on. But again, like I said, you can see that they are relatively the same size, but again, the push is a little bit bigger all the way around. Same with this direction, as you can see. So but the gang hole is the proper size. It's going to fit, and you know, like I said, if you put it up there flush, it gives you a nice seal all the way around. So again, if I put it on that way, you can see, but it doesn't line up because of the holes. All right, so other than that, you know, and then it gives you some more yeah, so it goes some single gang, double gang, triple gang, and then you have the outlets, the traditional outlets right there for the walls. So that's how that works. And something I kind of glossed over before, and I do apologize for that, but they are made in America right here, Point Pleasant, West Virginia. So, you know, give these guys a shout, look at them, see if you would be interested in something like this. I think that there is their, what was that? That's the contact information right there. DJWPush.com, and then there's info and social medias at DJW Push. So look them up. So now back to the construction. Again, this is not made out of the unbreakable or indestructible material that a lot of the newer modern plates are. It's not really necessary, because the reason they started making these out of the indestructible or flexible plastic here was because, like I said before, idiots would screw this screw in so much, and it would just torque it down, and it would deform. As you can see right there, when I kind of move the camera a little bit, it deforms this plate. They suck it in too much. There's no reason to do that. These are, you know, just supposed to be up there a little bit to hold it out. And so I think without having that screw being in there, obviously you don't need to make it out of that type of plastic. The other thing is, this is more of a matte finish as compared to this, which is a really high gloss, which looks really nice. One thing I did observe that I talked about before was the fingerprints show up a lot more. You know, the oils off your hands and everything show up a lot more on this one than they do on this with the matte finish. The only, I don't say the only, but one of the drawbacks I see on this, I think this is still in the prototype refinement stages, is that the markings from the blow mold are coming through on the back here. They are showing through on the front. It's really kind of hard to see. I mean, that one there you can definitely see on the camera right there, and then the line that goes across the other side here, and then the 4 squares, you can see them in person. It's just I can't get the camera to pick them up. But I mean, if you don't know what you're looking at from across the room, you're not going to see it. You know, it's up there, especially here where it's a shadowy place. But even here, let's see, let's put it right underneath a direct light. I'll put it right underneath the light here. If you don't know what you're looking for, you know, with my naked eye, I can see it because I'm looking for it. But again, if I wasn't specifically looking for that, there's no way that would be picked up by the average person, you know. And if they do look at it and say, "Oh my goodness, you got that little lines on your thing," well, then they're a bunch of idiots anyway, right? So anyway, like I was saying, you know, this piece right here, that's the only thing that's troubling me at this point. I haven't had a chance to test it on and off on the place, because the other plugs in my house are the older square round pieces, or the flip style switches in my house. So this right here, the rockers I might have, but you know, I'll be able to do some more stuff tomorrow on another house that I'm working on. Anyway, so that's where I'm at with these. You know, this is just my preliminary overview of these. I think they have some really good products going on right here. You know, it's something that's going to be on the market pretty soon. I'm not sure of the price points yet, but I think they're still working that out. We have been talking about it a little bit here and there. And, you know, from what they're telling me, they're in negotiations with some of the bigger box stores. So, you know, hopefully we'll be able to see this company take off. Again, DJW Push Incorporated. And, you know, stick around and look out for the next video on, you know, how they actually do, you know, in the field. Thanks for watching, and you know, like everybody else says, hit the like, subscribe, and all those great buttons down there that everybody likes to have touched. Right?